Welcome to our Devos, where we are talking about compromise. And we're talking about the importance of making sure that we don't compromise, as we saw this weekend with Samson. Samson's life was an extraordinary life, and we only covered a little bit of it. But it was marked largely with compromise. And for whatever reason, and we can argue why this is, God chose to show us a lot of his compromise and not as much of his faithfulness. Even though God labels in Hebrews him as being one of the people that are in the hall of faith, people that are mentioned for their extraordinary faith and not for their paralysis under compromise. So today, I want you to really be thinking about compromise from a standpoint, really, of examining yourself. And one of the things that you have to examine in yourself is you want to make your decisions in the light and not the darkness. Some of the worst times that I have had when it comes to compromise happened when I made my decisions in the vacuum of darkness. Like I was having a particularly off day, or I was, not really in the Lord the way I should be, and not praying and not seeking him. And what happens in those moments is we make decisions in this dark vacuum, or we're with other people. And compromise often is associated with other people. It's associated with our relationships. That's why it's so important that you evaluate your relationships in terms of who you want to be and not who you are. So I'll give you an example. And this is a secular example. I don't recommend that you necessarily follow this person, but I do a lot of business work, and the people that I coach tend to follow this person. It's a bearded guy, this jacked bearded guy. His name is Alex Hormozi. And he was asked on more than one occasion, multi-millionaire, $150 million a year company he runs, wrote all these books, and he's got really good formulas and frameworks on how to become successful. And he was asked, what would you do to immediately become more successful? Now, you might say, he's going to say, you should sell more, or you should develop better products, or you should have an online presence, or you should have an online course. Nope. He says the quickest way to become more successful is to upgrade your friends. Now you're like, wait a minute. I've had my friends since I was a little kid, and we've all hung out at the bar together, and we've all partied, we all smoked weed together, and we've all grown up, and we all had the same. Well, you might want to upgrade your friends. I know that's harsh, but another business leader, Jim Rohn, said you're the average of the 5 people that you spend most of your time with. So I spend most of my time with Pastor Mike, Pastor Ron, Pastor Jason, Pastor Alex. These are the people that I'm around the most. And of course, we all work together, but there's some commonalities with all of us and how we view certain things like debt, how we live, even our health in some areas. None of us are perfect, and there's just always the same type of conversations going on. There's a way that we are when it comes to our spouses. There's a way that we are when it comes to how we speak. And I don't want to upgrade my friends because I'm not, I'm definitely the average of them. Like, I'm not the best of them by any means. And there are things that they all do better than I do. And so I know that I've come as far as I have in certain areas of my life because I hang around with men that are like these men. And I know that I don't want to go and hang around with people that are compromising constantly, because guess what's going to happen to me? I'm going to compromise. I know you're like, well, you should plan on not compromising. I'm not planning on compromising, but I'm saying if I'm with people that are doing those things, my temptation to do those things is going to be higher, not lower. And so you want to make your decisions based on the light and not the darkness, on the people that you're around that go, I don't know, what would Pastor Ron say if he found out I did this? Or what would Jason say if he found out I did this? Like, that's really an important thing to me. I'm not influenced by I just care what people think, but the people that I'm closest to, I want them to see me as trying to do the best I can for the Lord. In Ephesians chapter 5, verse 11, it says, take no part in the unfruitful works of darkness, but instead expose them. When you spend time with people that are repeatedly doing things that are on the dark side, well, you're going to tend to make your decisions based on those people. And then those people also tend to cover, well, it doesn't matter what you do. That's nobody's business. I'm not saying everybody needs to know every part of your business. I'm just saying that somebody needs to know every part of your business. And the more people that you let in that are good people, you're exposing what you do in the light. Like I talk to Pastor Mike a lot about my business stuff. And I talk to him about like money. Like I'll tell him about money. This is what is happening with this money. And this is how much this cost. And this is how much this made. And I do it not just because I like that he looks at me kind of like a son and is helping me, but I also kind of want that level of accountability. Some of you, the problem is you've made all your decisions in the darkness of either nobody knowing or the wrong people knowing, and it's led you to compromise. You don't want to be in an echo chamber. You want to be around people that aren't afraid to tell you, hey, I don't know if that's the best idea for you. I don't know if you should go and do this thing. I don't know if you should go on that trip. I don't know if you should hang out with that person. I don't know if you should be talking this way. When you expose the things, compromise dwindles when it comes to its power. It'll keep you from compromising.